Hey guys, and welcome back to another new Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at some of the spookiest Animal Crossing villages in your opinion, since I asked you guys to send me your spookiest villages and I picked out some of my favorite answers. Now, for the purpose of this video, I've kind of decided to pick villages that are more funnier, I guess. The answers are more funnier and interesting and kind of more out there. I'm not picking the traditional ones like Coco and Lucky because it's so obvious that they're spooky, you know? And of course, spooky doesn't mean the villager is bad, it just means they've got this creepy Halloween-y type vibe about them. So I'm going to go into all of those now, and if you're excited for this video, be sure to leave a like to show your support, and of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for even more Animal Crossing videos. Now, let's get straight into this. First of all, we have this one submitted by Free2, and they said definitely red. Not from his overall appearance, just because he's sketch as heck, and it seems like he could come kill you any day and have no remorse. Now, this is an interesting point because Crazy Red is one of the only characters in Animal Crossing who is an actual confirmed criminal. He is not welcome on the island, he has to hide up on the secret beach, he's always been doing shady things, and just in general, Crazy Red is actually a wanted criminal in the Animal Crossing world. So, the odds of him killing you and not feeling any remorse, I guess, are definitely higher than other characters. Still, I don't think Crazy Red actually has it in him, especially given the fact that he, is going to want your money, so why would he kill you, that sort of thing. But either way, I definitely get this point. Crazy Red is a very shady character, and you never know what he could be up to behind the scenes. This next one by, I think it's, well, I'm just going to say Jasper YouTube. I'm sure I'm in a weird minority, but for me, it's Gruff. Dude looks like he tried to sell me some potions in a dark alley and spends all his time creating gassy concoctions in a cauldron in his basement. It definitely has to be said that there is an unusual vibe about Gruff. I've got to agree with that. Gruff definitely has a very unusual vibe about him. I love his sort of shirt with his chain, like it's just so interesting, some of the design choices they have chosen for these characters. Also, his like weird green color about him too. I don't know what to make of it, guys, but you know what, I can definitely agree with this point. Gruff definitely does have a very strange, unusual kind of vibe about him, and I could see him selling you potions in a dark alleyway. Definitely very possible in my opinion. This next one we have Dobby, and Dara says, Dobby, his house looks like he's figuring out a murder. Now if you don't know, Dobby's house is full of all these like scattered papers, and he has this big desk and tons of books, and that's true. I don't know if that necessarily makes him spooky as such, because I think it's just like him kind of being an old man. And you know what, he's a cute old man as well. I can't say anything bad about Dobby. I love Dobby. He's actually one of my favorite characters. So, you know what? Dobby, he may be figuring out a murder, but he's not causing the murder, He's like a detective who's solving it. So, we have to cut him some slack there. This next one by Ro Crow says Chops, because I see him in my nightmares. Now, for me, this is very relatable. As you guys know, Chops is my least favorite villager. And he does have a spooky vibe about him, I've got to be honest. The spooky vibe comes from the fact that someone brought it to my attention. He's actually dressed up like a World War I soldier, which is really interesting now that I think about it. I thought he was just dressed up as like a nutcracker, which apparently he is. Maybe he's both. And I guess those nutcrackers, maybe are they based on soldiers? I'm not entirely sure. But either way, yeah, he definitely has that vibe about him. So you know what? Maybe Chops is like the ghost of a World War I soldier or something, and he's come to haunt us. I don't know, but the vibes with Chops are definitely more spooky than not, and I also see him in my nightmares every single night. This next one by Louise is actually really interesting, one of my favorite answers on this whole list. Louise says, here's a less conventional answer. Rattle. He reminds me of a plague doctor with his mask and his colours, especially in our current times. Since we can't see his face, it's hard to tell his true intentions. Who knows what sort of procedures he's done? Is he even a real doctor? That's a very interesting point. Is Raddle a real certified doctor? Well, we don't know, and we can't get to see his true face. There could be an evil grin behind there could be a smirk, there could be a really sad face. We don't know what's going on with Rattle. Rattle was doing this whole mask thing before everyone else was. So, we really don't know what's up with him. Is he a real doctor? What kinds of creepy procedures has he done in the Animal Crossing world? What could he have gotten up to in this supposedly sweet world, We really don't know with Rattle, but yeah, he definitely has those spooky vibes about him. I can definitely see that. And I gotta say though, I do like this character a lot. I do like Rattle. This next one comes from the Big O review, and they say Brutus. Now you guys be like, what? This is not a real Animal Crossing villager, and you'd be true. Brutus is basically a Animal Crossing urban legend from the old days of Animal Crossing, that this villager called Brutus could come to your town and like really do evil things. You know, he was like basically almost like a corruption on your game. But of course he was never real. He was just an urban legend passed around the schoolyard by kids and stuff like that, and online on message boards way back in the day, you know, before you could easily verify everything on the internet. So Brutus is a really famous character in that regard because he's such a popular urban legend in the Animal Crossing community, and I've always found him really interesting. The Big O review actually has a video on him if you guys want to check that out. It's perfect for Halloween. It's a really spooky kind of tale, and he did such a good job with that video, so I definitely recommend checking that one out because Brutus is definitely one of the spookier characters in the series, I gotta say. This next one by Luna says Barreled. I think he has the potential to be really cute because he's kind of ugly. That doesn't make any sense to me. But his house looks like this and this ruins it. Yeah, definitely a true point there. His house is really creepy. I mean, he has cameras everywhere and he's like spying on people. I don't know. I mean, I think the goal here was to make him look like an IT guy, but I think they probably didn't anticipate the fact that he would just end up looking super creepy and stalkerish with this kind of theme to his house. So yeah, it's really interesting that Barreled kind of has this creepy stalker vibe about him. I can definitely see it. I mean, just look at the guy. Amy says, Chow is so terrifying to me and genuinely looks like a serial killer with that creepy smile he constantly has in his face. Just gonna say it, this panda is nightmare fuel. You know, I've never really thought of him as nightmare fuel before until I saw these different facial expressions that he makes. I mean, I can definitely agree that there are some creepy vibes with Chow here. It is a very fair point that he does have a very creepy smile, especially that one in the right where he's got that like grin on his face. He definitely looks very scary. Wasn't there like this internet like killer called Jeff or something like that from the really old internet days? That's exactly what he looks like now I think about it. I'm not sure if that's intentional, probably not, right? But either way, I can definitely see the resemblance there, and yeah, it is very, very spoopy. This next one by Leo says, I love him to bits and he's my favorite villager of all time, but Pietro is so creepy. I agree. And of course, creepy isn't a bad word in this regard, guys. We're using creepy and spooky to sort of say we actually really appreciate these villagers for that aspect of them. You know, it's a cool factor of them. So yeah, Pietro of course is definitely one of the creepier ones. He is a clown, and I know a lot of you guys out there probably have a fear of clowns. I used to when I was a little child, not like a major one, but I definitely used to be creeped out by clowns, as I think most kids do. So Pietro will always have a creepy place in my heart. Hannah says Rodeo. I mean, look at him, he's a demon. Again, a very interesting choice to put on this list. That's kind of why I wanted to put villagers like this rather than ones like Coco and Lucky, you know? Because look at him, look at his eyes, what is up with his eyes? Why are they like that? I'm honestly so confused why they designed him like this, because everything else kind of makes sense with this character, but then they did that. I really don't get it. I mean, what is he trying to hide? Is Rodeo an actual demon? Well, I guess we don't know. If you want to help support the channel, click the join button down below the video to become a member of the Bob's Gang. You can get a whole bunch of really cool perks for doing so, and it helps me out a whole bunch too. So click the join button down below the video or the link in the description to learn more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. It was super fun to go over all the spooky villagers. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and you can also subscribe for even more Animal Crossing videos. Be sure to turn on channel notifications if you haven't already, and you can check out more videos on the right side as well. So thank you once again for watching.